I'm Caleb Giddings from Gun Nuts Media, and today we're going to be disassembling, cleaning, and inspecting the Rock Island Armory Ultra FS in 9mm. The reason we're doing this is because after 2,000 rounds of shooting, I want to be able to take a look at the gun and see if there's any visible wear and tear on it that it would have picked up from that test. So let's get started. Alright, the gun has now been field stripped. So we've got it down to its parts. I didn't take the mag well off because it's attached in a very interesting way that, honestly, I don't really feel like taking out a mallet to smash that thing off of the gun. One of the things I do want to impress upon you, though, is just how dirty this gun is after 2,000 rounds. If we take a look at the barrel, you can see that the barrel is just, well, it's filthy. All of the grease and lubrication and carbon fouling that's built up over the course of this test is still there, but none of it really impaired the gun's function. So what we're going to do now is, and I'm not going to film this because you don't really care about me cleaning this gun, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wipe down all of these surfaces, and the reason I want to do that is so we can see if there's been any actual parts wear on this gun. Now that we have the gun apart, the first thing we're going to look for is evidence of issues with the barrel. That starts with inspecting the locking lugs here on the top of the barrel. What we want to look for is any metal that may have been displaced or removed, any issues that look like the frame and the slide in the barrel aren't locking up correctly. So to do that, we want to really take a good hard look at the locking lugs. Now the lugs on this, they should still have sharp edges, they do, and there shouldn't be any metal wear really in this area in between the first and the second lug. And there really isn't. There's nothing that's gouged out, there's no drag marks on it, so this part is fine after 2,000 rounds, it's good to go. Next, we're going to look at the actual barrel locking lug down here, or not the barrel locking lug, though, whatever this thing is. I'm not going to be super technical with some of my part descriptions because that makes YouTube videos really boring. Here we're looking for the same thing. We're looking for wear marks. We're looking for uneven wear mostly. We want to make sure that there's nothing wrong with the front of it. So for example, this should look pretty much the way it does. You notice there are some wear marks right here on the front. Those are acceptable generally within what you'd expect to see on a 1911. The one area that may be of small concern is that I am getting some uneven wear. It looks like when the gun's actually going through recoil, I'm not getting as much contact on this side as I am on this side, but it's not so significant that I'm going to be really honestly worried about it. So in general, the barrel is fine after 2,000 rounds. Up next, we want to look at the frame for signs of wear. So to do that, we're going to actually have to have 3 hands. No, I'm kidding. But what we're looking for in here is contact marks and excessive battering on the inside of the gun. And you can see that we don't really have any of that. So obviously this is where parts start to slam into each other when the gun is firing, and if there were really, really bright marks or or anything where you could really see that metal was getting jacked up down here in the gun, we'd be concerned. And there's none of that. It's dirty. Yes, I need to drag a rag through it again, but there's no signs of excessive frame battering in this gun. Lastly, we're going to take a look at the slide. What I want to do with the slide is pretty simple. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to move this barrel out of the way. And we're going to check for uneven wear marks on the inside of the slide. Now, I haven't cleaned the slide, so it is going to be dirty. But we want to make sure that this area right here isn't showing any high spots or any signs of unusual wear and tear. So basically, again, if there's really bright exposed metal down here, that's going to be a problem. However, I'm having trouble pulling focus today. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Anyway. It's also fine. So I'm going to try to get one last good shot of that, which may be difficult, but as you can see, there are no areas of really considerable wear on the slide. Everything is exactly as it should be. So what's the conclusion that we can come to? Well, one of the concerns that people had when we first started testing this gun was that it was going to rattle itself to death after 2,000 rounds. Obviously, that hasn't happened. Mechanically, the gun is still in excellent condition. I haven't taken it apart to look at any of the small parts because I honestly didn't feel like doing that today. But as far as me being comfortable to take this gun out to the range and shoot it again tomorrow, I absolutely would, and I, in fact, plan on doing that. So, after 2,000 rounds, the Armscore 1911 is in excellent mechanical condition, and I have nothing negative to report about it. I'm Caleb Giddings. Thanks for watching.